it's your girl, Miss Rena, baby, and who are you?
Winter.
And we are coming to you live with that Wednesday wisdom, and I hope y'all ready.
And today we're gonna do sisters.
Sisters?
Yeah.
Sister?
Yeah.
You my sister?
Yeah.
I thought you was my baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. My baby. Uh-oh, we taking the background with us. Uh-oh. Okay, so welcome aboard. Today we're going to talk about some good and juicy stuff for that Bugetto motivation. Because y'all know I got y'all, and y'all know I'm always going to keep it real. That's why it's called Real and Raw with Miss Rena, baby.
I'm drinking some water.
Yes, some good water.
And Mommy's going to do her YouTube.
Yes, so tell everybody goodbye and give them hugs and kisses. Okay, I'm back. I had to say goodbye to the lovely Miss Winter. So today I'm going to talk about how things in society are always overly sexualized. Let's start with nudity. So in certain countries, such as Europe as an example, nudity is very common. And it's not frowned upon, it's not shunned upon, like it's just a very common thing. They recently started like making people be a little bit more clothed in cloth because of tourists that come to visit. Because our outlook on it is totally different, and it's always a sexual outlook. And let me elaborate on what I mean. No, I do not feel like here in America we need to be walking around butt naked and stuff like that. But I noticed that as a woman, even me dressing this way at times, going out somewhere to party and you have on clothes that are fitting and they show your curves or things like that. And I'm not talking about walking around with your booty cheeks hanging out and your boobs hanging out. Maybe a little bit of cleavage is showing, but I'm not, not talking about like just bearing it all. Some people and women judge. Some men think that gives them the right to approach you in a negative way or to come at you like, oh, well, she was asking for it. Look what she has on. How does she expect me to respect her or treat her a different way type of mambo jumbo? And it's like, why is it not okay for her to express herself through her fashion, through the things that she likes? How is that not okay? And why does that give you the right to not be able to control your damn erection? Like I said, some things can be a little overboard. Like if you go out to the club in a thong and your whole booty, bare cheeks is hanging out, then I may understand, like, okay, you're getting a little tempted. But even then, you don't touch nobody unless they ask to be touched, okay? Like, period, point blank. So keep the comments to yourself. But I noticed, like I stated, in America, not even just America, 'cause there's other countries that are really strict, but I'm going off of where I live, that people cannot express themselves freely without it being a judgment or without it being a negative, that they were asking for something that they may have not at all been asking for. Another thing, like I do understand like the difference between girls that are on social media and they're naked all the time. Some of it looks a little trashy. But there are some who do it in a very tasteful, sexy way. But regardless if it's tasteful or sexy, to some people it's still looked upon in a negative way, or like looked upon where men think they should put comments on there like, ooh, I want to show you my thing, or ooh, girl, come sit on my, like, just all that stuff. And it's like, a body is art. That's your work of art. That is your display of yourself, especially for those that are into fitness. Like showing your results, showing the hard work that you did does not mean that it needs to be sexualized. Like everything that is a body part or everything that is sexy and expressive when it comes to the human anatomy does not need to be taken in as a sexual gesture. Doesn't mean that I am sexually trying to gesture anything with you or at you. And the thing that's so confusing about our society is that it's so judgy. Like, for example, it's magazines all over with naked girls on there in a not so tasteful way. And that seems to be okay. And people have those in their home. They have them everywhere where their kids might stumble across them and it's not a problem. But let like a magazine, and I did research, let like a magazine have a woman on there in the pap smear position, but draped and not like showing her private area, but just, showing certain things, but still tastefully be frowned upon. Who wants, like, why they got magazines like that? My kids might see that. Like, why are y'all sexualizing things that are not even supposed to be sexualized? That's not even, to to entice you sexually. That's to teach about the woman body and what we go through, and to teach the importance of a pap smear. I'm sure that's what that magazine was getting at. But our society makes everything sexual. And same difference if like it's a magazine with a work of art, like somebody posing, showing their strengths, showing off things. It's sexualized. That's not what that was about. So instead of everybody making it seem like everybody's trying to solicit themselves or everything is sexual, maybe you should dig deep into your mind and see that you are the one that's causing the problems, thinking that everything is supposed to be sexual. As for dancing, yes, some dances are sexual no matter how we want to slice that bread, but some things like twerking, and when I say twerking in the way that I mean it, is not like bent over, but, you know, stripper twerking. I'm talking about like the dancing that was done like in other countries, like Africa and things like that. It wasn't necessarily labeled twerking, but it was similar dance moves. And even if the woman was just kind of standing up and moving, when you have a lot of curves and a lot of body, just standing up and moving, your butt, your behind shakes. A lot of other body parts shake. Doesn't mean that you were intentionally shaking those parts of your body, but then that's getting sexualized now. Like, oh, she's trying to be sexual or whatnot. Even with young children, I have a daughter, as you know, and I could recall when she was 1 and 2, before she had any access to YouTube, any access to certain TV shows, any access to even seeing me dance or friends dance. When she would dance, it was automatically rhythm that moved her hips and moved her body in a way that adults may move themselves, but I didn't look at it like, oh, she's being sexual, like she's having fun, turn up. But others are like, oh, she's being fast, you're teaching your daughter to be fast, you're letting her dance like that. But that's because, once again, a lot of people's minds are overly sexual. Like, everybody's mind is overly sexual. Just like, you know, the girls who have that on dance teams, cheerleaders, dance squads, dance ensemble, they do a lot of dances that adults do that are considered sexual to society. But I'm looking at these kids and I don't think it's sexual. I think it's moving, it's rhythm, it's just letting loose, being yourself. But because society looks at it as sexual, it makes it hard for them to continue to do what they do. One thing that I will say, and it's nothing against any race or anything like that, because like I always say, I'm not against any race. I love all my people, but once again, I am a black woman. As you can tell, it's obvious to see. So I can mainly speak for mine. And just having a lot of black women in my life, friends and family, I learned a lot about the black women. A lot of black women are overly sexualized, like very much overly sexualized. Like, everything we do is overly sexualized. We wear certain clothes, even if it's not revealing, even if it's not showing our private areas, because a lot of us were naturally built shapely. We get told we shouldn't be wearing that. Why you got them tights on? You shouldn't be wearing that. Sorry that I keep having to stop, but my daughter wants to keep being a bugaboo today. So I have to keep stopping and starting and stopping and starting. Anywho, what was I saying? Now you hear her and they're crying like I just beat her. And I didn't beat her. I should beat her, huh? Let me go. I'll be right back. I'm about to go beat her. No, I'm just playing. Gosh, this is why I can't. This YouTube stuff is a job, because you try to concentrate and do what you need to do, and then here comes this and here comes that. I don't even remember what I was going to say. I'll be back. Okay, I remember what I was saying. I was saying how, like, as black women, we are over-sexualized. And again, I'm not talking about necessarily today, because nowadays we're all mixed up. There's no specific race. And of course, like my people that always got to be so picky about everything, there's an exception to every rule. Yes, there's been thick white women. I'm sure there's thick Asian women. I'm sure there's white, thick Asian, Korean, Japanese, Hispanic women who've had full lips and all these features. I'm not saying that they don't exist and that we are the only ones who possess these things. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying back in the day, before everybody was getting cosmetic surgery to get lip enhancements or body enhancements, it was more common in the African American communities and cultures to have bodies that were full with big boobs, big butts, like big everything naturally, full lips, things of that nature. because we naturally had those things, and those were things that we couldn't hide or deny, it was always overly sexualized. Like, we were automatically treated as a sex object. Like, we were just, because it was like, oh, wow, what are those? Like, and then it's not fair. So anything that we do, dance, wear, this, that, and the other, it's like we have to tone it down if we don't want to be looked at in a hoish manner or in a negative sight. And when that's not fair, because that's just the way that we look. And it's the problem is society over-sexualizing things. It's not us that need to fix these things. Yes, like I said, there are some women that do need to fix these things. I'm not saying that. But overall, like, every little thing we do is going to be over-sexualized. Just like, for example, me, I can wear some tights to the gym and a t-shirt and probably get stared at while I'm squatting because I naturally have a big butt. While a woman that is super skinny can wear the same thing and be perfectly fine. Not saying that men don't like skinny women, so there we go. I'll be having a disclaimer for y'all people. But it's just not fair. And then it's, girl, you shouldn't have been wearing them to this gym. No, I didn't. I know that I shouldn't be wearing no booty shorts to the gym with my booty cheeks hanging out, which, again, do I really know that I shouldn't? Why does it matter? It's my body. But me personally, I'm not going to wear that. But me wearing some tights that fully cover my clothes, I don't want to squat in sweats. That's not comfortable. So they can get all tangled and in the way. Like, instead, society needs to quit looking at me and over-sexualizing me. Everything I do is not sexual. Everything that I display is not for your sexual needs. It's not for me to say, hey, John, I need you to get an erection today. No. So, John, you need to control that erection. It's not my problem if you cannot control it. Stop over-sexualizing everything in society, people. Let things be. Let things go. You horny. Go get a release. But it ain't with the person that you see all the time that deserves to be the one that has to get over-sexualized because you can't control yourself, okay? And with that being said, I think I'm done. It's Turkey Day tomorrow. So y'all eat up. Get some good sleep after you eat. Wake back up. Eat another plate. Kiss Granny. Tell her you love them. And I love you guys. And it's hump day. So if you humping, wrap it up and be safe. Don't forget to subscribe and like and thumbs up. And follow me on all social outlets. Instagram, Miss MISS_Rena Baby. Snapchat, Daddy D. And like I always say, don't be humping on nobody else's man, sis. No, I'm just kidding. Well, God bless, and y'all have a wonderful day. Bye. We're back because Winter wants to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.